All right. All right, hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Nature's Always Right video. This is another live stream, going to be about interplanting summer squash and replacing some of my bolted. Okay, hopefully got all of the kinks worked out for YouTube and Twitch now, hopefully. So I can see all of your chats now. So I'm just going to wait a minute for a couple more people to jump in and then we'll get started. All right, what's up, Matt? All right, we're gonna start in 30 seconds here. I'm just checking stuff out. I'm gonna grab my cedar, get that ready. What's up, Janren? All right, I got all my gear ready, so let's get started. So first of all, what are we doing? So I just want to show you guys my chard and why I'm switching things out. So if you don't know what this is Swiss chard, and you're seeing a bunch of pre-flower here. And this is going to seed, or it's also called bolting. So every vegetative plant that doesn't produce fruit will eventually stretch up like this and go to flower, so it can produce seed and produce offspring, so it can spread its genetics, right? Where all life is trying to spread its genetics. You know, on tomatoes or peppers, squash, the seeds are in the actual fruit themselves, so it's a little bit different. Every family of plants is slightly different. So I want to remove all these bolted plants. I can't sell this. It's very bitter now. It's tougher. And of course, you know, the customers are not going to enjoy. The yellow stemmed plant is a yellow variety of Swiss chard. So what you're looking at on this other bed, here you can see some summer squash. That's a patty pan squash. And I've planted them about every 3 feet. And what used to be in this bed was chard. I had mustard greens here, and then down there at the end I have some different types of kale. Well, once that started to all bolt, I replaced it with summer squash and then basil. I'll be able to get my first small harvest on my basil. So it's time to do that on this first bed now. And I'm seeing all of your guys' chats now. That's awesome. Cool. And I just wanted to say, if you guys are on Twitch, go ahead and I've got a link in the video's description. You guys could follow me on there as well, because I'm trying to get up to 50 subscribers on there. And huge thank you to Matt of Dragstrip Farm. He's a farmer down in Florida, and he's starting to set up his new farm as well. And he was the one who got me started on Twitch, and he's kind of the reason why I'm even live streaming right now, and he helped me get this all set up. So huge thank you to Matt. Go ahead and follow him. He's on YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram as Dragstrip Farm. I'd really appreciate it if you guys supported him as well. Okay, so first I'm just going to go through these plants and take out all the bolted ones. And so I'm going to just take a leaf off and try it. So I'll kind of describe the flavor for you guys. That's not too bad yet. It is a little bitter though. Like if I was eating this raw, I would be like, ugh. But if you cook this, it would still be okay. So here we go. So if a plant's just starting to bolt, it still tastes pretty decent. But I want to make sure all these super long ones, they're done though. When I'm taking the plant out, I'm shaking it like that because I don't want to remove the soil. I want to leave it in the bed. Cool. So now about every 3 feet, I've removed something. And yes, Matt, I'm gonna feed most of this to my chickens. I don't really have room for another compost pile right now, and I've got 3 going. So most of this is gonna go to my chickens right now. And then some of that is decomposed, and I make it in the compost later. That's a good idea. I should save a little bit of this for my worms. They need a little bit more greens. So this is just an example. This is bolted Jacinto kale, or sometimes they call it dinosaur kale, or I think Tuscany kale too. It's all the same stuff. So, I want to leave as much as I can behind so that I can harvest it until I finally have to take it out. So I'm a market gardener, so I'm selling this for profit. So I want to get as much of it as I can. Or if you're a home gardener, you want to be able to eat as much of it as you can. But we're almost done with this chard. Probably in 2 more weeks, I'll take all of it out and I'll be replacing it with something else, basil or lettuce, or I'm going to show you guys something else special that I'm going to put in here besides summer squash. So now you can see I've got holes, trying to get a center hole about every 3 feet. If I don't have one, I may just remove one of these chard so that I can put my summer squash in. If I have to lose a plant, that's okay, because I got to keep higher production going. So, all this kale is still really good, so I'll probably wait. This whole area is really good, so I'm gonna wait to put my squash there. I'll wait another week, and then I'll remove one of these. Like this Friday when I have my market, I'll harvest like this one. I'll just harvest the whole plant and pull it out so that I have a whole space. Okay. And that's kind of one of the lessons you got to learn especially for farming, that once a plant's lived out its life and it's gone through its full production stage, like you could still harvest it and get some stuff, but you got to know in the right time to pull the plug in. Food, you want to keep it like on your homestead. You want as much food coming in as possible, right? So the next thing I'll show you guys that I'm doing before I do it is a little fertilizer mix. So this is compost mixed with kelp meal, azomite, some 364 fertilizer, biochar that I made, and so I'll be putting this into the planting hole, and then also I'll be top dressing the plant after I plant it with this stuff. I did a previous live stream about how I made this, and I have a future Nature's Always Right full produced video coming out where I'll show you guys how to make this. Okay, so now I'm just gonna get a little mini shovel, trowel thing, make my planting holes, and then we'll be putting in these squash. This is a patty pan, sunburst patty pan squash. They're more of a rare looking squash. They're kind of like a flying saucer shape. They're really beautiful. It's a hybridized summer squash, just so you guys know. It's not an heirloom. The other squash that I'm growing is an heirloom zucchini called Cocozelli, and I've gotten all of my seeds for these guys from True Leaf Market, which is my current favorite place to get seeds right now. I've got a link in the description if you'd like to pick up any seeds from them, and it's a way that you can support the channel because they give me a small kickback if you buy seeds from them, and they're a great company. Okay, so let's get the holes prepared. So this is a planting tool that I really like. It's a Korean planting tool, actually, and it's called a Homie. You can get these on, I think you can get them on Amazon now, actually. But this or just a little small planting shovel trowel are pretty good. So when I'm planting these, I'm sort of prepping them a little bit. You may see some of these cotyledon leaves on the outside. I want to pull those off. They're already starting to look a little unhealthy anyways, and they're not really going to help much. Actually, those weren't cotyledons. Those were some of the first leaves for the plant. Okay, and then Of course, when you're removing a pot, you always want to put your middle finger and pointer finger around that, pop it out, and prepare the roots by rubbing around the outside. As you can see, I'm planting into this weed mat right here, so it makes it a little trickier to plant. So actually my little planting tool isn't the best for the situation. I need my little planting shovel, but I couldn't find it. I don't want to make you guys wait around. So I'm just going to do it by hand and digging out my little hole. These beds are still pretty clayey. They're one of my newer beds. They're probably, I think they're not newer, they're like 2.5 years old. So I'm just going to spread that fertilizer and compost in there. Make my hole. And then I'm just going to top dress it really well to get all those roots covered and get it nestled in there. And I've got a full episode all about how I set up this weed mat, because I have Bermuda grass underneath this whole area, and it was kind of a nightmare for me for a couple seasons dealing with it. Bermuda grass is one of those really bad rhizomous grasses that just keep coming back. So, you know, I wasn't able to plant this as deep as I wanted, so I'm gonna go find my little shovel so that I can do a better job of planting. Okay, next one. So just a little trowel like this. So this will just make it easy to get a deep hole. And for fruiting crops, I like to throw in my fertilizer into that hole so that the plant has instant access to all the good nutrients. Just gonna clean the plants up, take off the dead stuff, and then throw it in. So this is interplanting. So that's where you're combining different species of plants in the same bed. And it's a way of maximizing your yield. So, and it's really fun to play with interplanting because there's so many different combinations that you can do that work really well. Okay, we're in. And I'm gonna come back later and water these in. I could use my drip tape to water in or a little watering bucket. Okay. Cool. So good. So as I'm going through this, I think I'm just gonna plant it all. I'm just gonna pull out the couple kales that I'm gonna need to do to make this work, so I don't have to come back and plant it later. So it's just doing this for efficiency's sake. You just gotta pull the plug on some things for efficiency's sake sometimes. So I'll show you guys this. Yeah, I grow everything from seed, Belle. Everything on this farm is grown from seed. I don't buy transplants. Except I did have to buy some pepper transplants because some of mine died. And I just didn't get as much germination as I wanted to. I should have planted more seed. But this is from seed. So I wanted to show you guys this. So you may be able to see on this leaf that there are aphids on there. And if there's aphids on this plant already, it's telling me that this plant is weak. It's in a weakened state, and therefore it's attracting the insects. The weaker plants are always the attractants. A healthy plant is able to actually put off basically toxic chemicals that these bugs don't like. So this plant isn't healthy enough to do that, which tells me that I need to not plant this actually. So I'm not gonna plant this one. I'm gonna go look for a healthier one. They like them tender. Oh yeah, the young plants are brassicas. They just love it. My transplants I got from a local nursery that's down the street. So this plant, look how much greener it is. There's none of the yellowing going on, and there are no aphids, which tells me this is a much better option. So that's why it's good to always have extra transplants on hand so you can choose the best ones at the time of transplant and have backups. So you may be noticing this is taking quite a long time to plant this, and that's because it's hard to plant into this weed mat here with the holes in it. But my buddy Justin, God, I can't remember his last name, but Zunker, it's with a Z, and he runs Z Gardens, and he just started up a YouTube channel, and his first video was one of him doing this, planting into the weed mat like this, and he uses a long kind of mini auger bit on his drill, and he drills down and it pulls the dirt out for him, and he doesn't really have to bend over much. So that's what I'd recommend doing on a larger scale. I only have to do about 12 of these, so it's not that crazy. But this is taking way too long to be actually efficient. do this one and that one. Actually, that. Two more. Yeah, I grow all my squash horizontally. What, as opposed to like vertically? The linking channels to talk directly to people. I'm not sure. So now when I harvest this Friday, I want to think about the light that this squash is going to receive. So when I come into harvest, I want to harvest this kale around here really hard so that I'm able to let in more light to this plant. If you guys are just tuning in, I'm also streaming on Twitch if you guys like that platform. And I could use any help if you guys are registered on there. If you guys could follow me, that'd really help me out. Also share the stream or share any videos of mine. That would really help me out. Really appreciate it, you guys. One more to go. So after I finish this, I'm gonna go do a salad mix bed and replant some beet greens. So I'll show you how I turn over that bed. I'm gonna turn it over completely no-till, I think, and I'm not gonna use the tilther at all. And the tilther is this little small machine, doesn't compact the soil and just kind of tills the top 1-2 inches of soil. So it's pretty cool. Johnny's Seeds makes it. Man, well, it depends what area of the country you're in, or the world, but these have been producing since I planted them at like the end of fall, I believe. So quite a while. If I put these under shade cloth, they'd keep going even longer, but I've planted new plants over in my grow bags so that I can keep a little protected area for them. And then I'll keep them going. But this is kind of, in Southern California, you can keep kale and chard going if you protect it. You can take it into like end of June, maybe July. If you're near the coast, you can go longer. but they just bolt when they go too much above 80 degrees, so they're a cool season crop. Freedom. I like your name, Freedom. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I had a lot of weeds in the beginning, but doing stuff no-till and really staying on top of the weed pressure is how you can get rid of your weeds. You're seeing this market garden is about 3 years in now, and that's why. Okay, what's cross varieties? So this is Coccozelli Italian heirloom zucchini, and it has a little bit smaller footprint than the normal zucchini or like a Romanesco heirloom Italian. And because I'm on such a small land base, plus my my beds are 30 inches, my pathways are 8 inches, I need a little bit smaller plant. So that's why I switched to that. I also grow Patty Pan Sunburst, which is a really beautiful one. And then the other reason is I sell at the farmer's market, and everybody has yellow crookneck and regular zucchini. So this helps me stand out when I'm selling. Okay, I think I had one more that I missed that I want to get. Let's do this. right, cool. Well, that job's done. So time to move on here. So I'm gonna take you guys over to the salad greens bed and we'll talk about bed prep. I've never experimented with Three Sisters just because corn isn't really a smart crop to do on a small land base like this. Okay, so let me grab my hula hoe here. So here's what I used to remove the previous crop. Just a scuffle hoe. This is excellent. You could also use a just like a Haas makes an awesome tool called a wheel hoe, and it's just like this, but it has wheels at the end, so you don't have to bend over at all. You can just run it like this across the bed, and I'm gonna get one pretty soon. Oh yeah, can you send me what the super chat said? That's one thing that's kind of bad about this program. I'm in Zone B in the upper 80s. What would you grow to sell at the farmer's market? So let me answer this question real quick and then we'll move on to the next thing. Thanks, Merry Christmas for the super chat, I appreciate it. So I'll show you what I'm growing, and I'm preparing for 80-degree weather. So what you can grow right now, so beets are pretty darn heat tolerant. Carrots you can grow all through the year round basically. I can in San Diego. I'm in zone 10A. Lettuce you can continue to do even under shade cloth. You just need to grow certain varieties like Muir. Muir is an excellent heat tolerant variety that's green. Look into that one. Also, this is red sail. It does pretty well into the 80s. Of course, fruiting crops like cucumbers, green beans are awesome. I grow Provider bush beans. I have a video on my YouTube channel all about how to grow these for profit, so it's like the least amount of work possible. I think I said tomatoes. Here's my first round of zucchinis I planted. These are the Coccozelli Italians. I'll show you guys. That's what it looks like. So it's got that really cool stripe, but it tastes just like a zucchini. Something else you can do the green onions. Green onions are also fantastic. And yeah, those are some of my best ones. Oh, radishes as well. You can still do radishes at this time. And then the baby greens, I continue to grow baby salad mix stuff like this. Even I grew it 12 months last year in zone 10A, and I used a 50-50 shade cloth. In addition to shade cloth, to make it even better, you can do you can run either misters or use overhead sprinklers, and then the filter go bitter. So those are some of my best crops that I'd recommend for hot weather. What I'm attempting to do is just remove the top part of the plant. I'm not trying to really take the roots out. I want the roots to stay in the ground and decompose on there to feed soil that I'll show you guys today. And the key to just getting to Cool, so that part's done. And now I need to just rake up some of this. It's really important to really lightly rake so that you're not taking a lot of soil with you. I'm not going to answer that question right now. I'll do a live spray it out tonight, actually. Do the Korean natural farming that I add to it. So check it out. So that's basically all I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna actually leave a lot of this crop residue here, and I'm just gonna cover it with compost. And this is just a no-till technique that is increasing the soil biology and increasing the health of the soil. What did I have here? Salad mix. You know, I'm not even gonna broad fork this either because I'm pretty happy with the aeration of the bed and everything. So this time I'm doing super no-till because I'm not even gonna broad fork. And well, actually, you know what? I am gonna broad fork this bed. It feels a little compacted to me. I should be able to put my fingers and just be able to push into the soil, but that's not really happening. So that's kind of my next step. So I'm gonna bring out a bunch of compost here and bury all this stuff. I might just do one more pass with my rake just to clean up anything that I might have missed that might get in the way while I'm seeding. Then it'll be compost time. And then I'll rake it out, then I'll seed it. Cool, that's good enough. So let's go show you guys the chickens. And yeah, you don't have to have liability insurance to sell at the farmer's market. If you are looking into farm liability that will cover, like if somebody gets sick from your produce, there's an insurance company called Flip, F-L-I-P. That's really excellent. It's like $300 a year. Oh, and if anybody super chats me and I don't see it, please send me a message or an email to Steven@nature'salwaysright. Tell me that you super chatted me and I'll answer your question there. Sorry if I do miss it. But thank you for anybody who wants to super chat or donate through PayPal. I really appreciate the support. You know, I'm taking time out of my day and a lot of effort to do this for you guys for free. All right. But I love helping you guys learn how to do this. So, okay, so here we go. Let's check the chickens out. You know, I'm gonna just throw you guys into the madness here. I leave the roots in. Okay, so get ready. I'm gonna feed them all of that leftover stuff that you saw me take out. There you go, and you guys can watch these guys. I'm gonna go get the compost going, and then I'll come get you guys when I'm ready to rake out the compost and then show you guys broad forking. Hope you guys enjoyed the chickens. Got the compost out there. Okay, so here's what I did. There was also one step you didn't see me do, which was I added out some azomite rock dust. And azomite is just a proprietary rock dust that has 70 different types of minerals. I have 3 acres, 5 acres. Sweet. I'm glad you like the chickens. They're fun to watch. I can watch them all day. So I'm just going to spread this out. You might see some of the white dust on the ground. That is the azomite. Plants need minerals, and the soil biology needs minerals to create the different chemicals and other things. So it's very important. So that's something I use all the time. It's also an amendment I add to my compost and worm tea. So the compost I'm spreading out, this is composted horse manure that I got from an awesome customer of mine. So you might be noticing that this compost I'm using is pretty chunky. It's a little bit wet down. I'm now at the bottom of the pile and it's pretty wet and chunky. We got a little bit of rain today, so I am gonna use the tilther actually. So I'm gonna change my plan, because to do a really nice salad mix, it needs to have that nice tilth on the top so you can seed into that. And with this chunkiness, it's just not gonna get to that. So changing the game plan, we're gonna use the tilther. It's a really cool tool, so stay tuned for that. And oh, if you guys like my live streams, I do a once a month live stream with my patrons only. It's on the site patreon.com. It's a way you can support creators. And that live stream I do the first Saturday of every month, and that is just taking questions. I don't work, I don't do anything. We just talk, and I try to help you guys the best I can with any part of farming or gardening or business that you guys have questions about. And you can join for as little as $1 a month. The next one is going to be this coming Saturday. So if you'd like to join Patreon, I've got a link down in the description below. And let me get the broad fork, and we're going to talk broad forking next. Okay, so if you guys don't know what this is a broad fork. It's essentially just a really large pitchfork. And the whole point of this thing is to give minimal soil disturbance, increase aeration. And I've got like 3 different videos about broad forks, why you want to use it, the soil biology concepts behind it, and the really detailed technique that you need to have. So check those videos out if you want more information, but I'll just touch on the highlights real quick. Basically what we're gonna do is push it into the soil, just barely crack the soil, letting some air get in there, helping to keep the soil biology aerobic, keeping the soil itself aerobic, so that the healthy soil microbes and other organisms in there can help break down the soil and change my heavy clay soil into a more loamy, nice consistency of soil. So everything I'm talking about today, most of the things on my farm now I've made videos about. So if you search my YouTube channel, you'll be able to find it. And this is the Tread Light Broad Fork. This is my favorite broad fork that I've ever tried personally. And I've got the metal handles, which I highly recommend because it'll last forever. And a broad fork is something that you use for a short amount of time, maybe the first three years. It's not something you'll do forever on your land. Nice. Yeah, this bed is a bit more compacted than some of my other beds I'm noticing. My other ones I'm able to go in a lot deeper. I think years ago, whoever owned this property before parked like cars over here or something, because there was like a lot of gravel originally. There we go. Now it's getting better. Hey Gloria, what's going on? Good to see you in the chat. Okay, whew, that's like way longer than I wanted it to. Whew, it was, this bed is not doing so good. I don't think I broad forked it last time. Most of my beds are super soft now after a few years, but this one, not so much. So moving on to the next step, which is the tilther. And that's a pretty cool tool. It's powered just by a drill. Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. All right, so here we go. So just got my Makita drill here, and I'll just show you what it looks like. So you can see it's got like 1 inch long little tiller blades on here. It's all leftover stuff. So this is a tool that you can get from Johnny's. I know that there are some other companies that it's either out or they're developing them, and they'll be out soon. So there'll be some more competition to Johnny's, which is a really good thing. So we can get cheaper and better tools. That's why competition's so important to the market. And it's finally coming. There's a lot more tool companies for small farming coming online now. But this is a great tool. So it's pretty simple how it works. Connects onto this shaft. You tighten your drill on. Hey, thanks. Thanks for going over to Twitch. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you could share with any friends you think might want to watch. I'm trying to get to the 50 followers so I can do the extra account stuff that it lets you. Appreciate all your guys' help and support. It's awesome. Okay, so you tighten it all in there, and look how simple this is. It's just attached to a little rope. So I pull this rope up here. It pulls the trigger of the drill, which spins the tines underneath. So doesn't get much simpler than that. All right, so here we go, and you'll watch me till this up. So this is really minimal. This is like considered minimal till. We're barely damaging the soil at all. We're just getting the consistency top part of the first inch of the soil really consistent and nice. So that's pretty cool, right? And now I've got soil that's really consistent, well blended. The compost chunks are all broken up. Now I could have done that by hand with a rake, but it would have taken me 10 minutes and a lot of effort. That was done in seconds. So there's a lot of these tools that just really speed up the process and make it a lot easier for us to do farming with basic hand tools. So now I've got my bed prep rake. It's a 28-inch rake, so it's perfect for a 30-inch bed. So I'm just gonna get this decently smooth and flat. It does not have to be perfect. And then I'll seed into it. I just changed my mind. I'm gonna do arugula here because I've got 3 beds over at my other property that I'm gonna seed something different tomorrow. So I'll do the beet greens somewhere else. Let's do this. I'm just going to refine the edge of the bed right now. One more time. Okay, that's done. Okay, so we got the final step now. I don't grow any mushrooms. I'd love to though, someday. When we have land somewhere, definitely plan on it. We're probably gonna move to somewhere in the south. So that's a great place, great climate for mushroom growing. But that's another fantastic addition to a market garden. Like growing in the mushroom logs, that's super cool. Here's the Earthway cedar. Been using this for over 5 years. I really like this thing. I've got links to some of my main tools in my description below. I'm working on my website right now so I can list all my tools that I use, all the seeds that I do. So you guys can check that out, but so stay tuned. Sign up for my email newsletter and I'll let you guys know when everything's live. So I'm just gonna pour my seed in and seed this out. I've showed how to use this thing in other videos. I got some other things I need to finish tonight, so I need to hurry up here. Oh, nice. Glad you like the grow bag idea. Perfect. Yeah, I'm really liking them, especially for peppers. They're growing fantastic. Once I finish this, I could show you guys that real quick. Everything's looking crazy healthy. So I'm gonna seed about 10 or 11 rows of arugula right here. Tater! So if I didn't tilth this, if I didn't tilth this, I'd run into chunks or little problems in it, like the machine would stutter and it wouldn't work as good. So that's the reason for tilthing. Normally don't do it one-handed, but I can't really step on the other side. Okay, all done. I just got to replace the drip lines now. Oh, Jivas, if you have a question, I'd be happy to answer. Thanks so much for that awesome super chat. You're wonderful. Or you can always email me at steven@nature'salwaysright. Okay, cedar's done. So now I just gotta water this in. So I use the slow bolt arugula. Esme arugula is another great one, or there's Rocket. It's the other variety that's pretty good. Okay, I need to pressurize the lines, and then I'll come back. I'm in San Diego. I'm in Lemon Grove is the location, the area I'm at. Nice bike. It does look like one, doesn't it? They should make a version that you can ride on. You can pedal it and it seeds for you. That'd be pretty cool, huh? Yeah, but then you'd be compacting the soil. Okay. So this is my old drip design. Well, actually it's not my design, it's my buddy Jared's design. But I updated it so that you just take all these lines off with one connection. And I've got a video all about that. Super important to clean your lines really well so you don't get dirt in there and they end up clogging. I haven't tried the Jong Cedar personally, but I just know from talking to lots of people, it is the absolute best direct cedar, period, because of the way it singulates the seed. It'll just work a lot better for root crops and stuff, but I've used the Earthway for 5 years. I love it, it's great. A lot of people use it, have been using it for a long time. You just have to figure out how to get it to work well. You can also adapt the seed plates. I'd say if you have the money and you plan on farming for a little while, or you plan on gardening for a long time, it's worth the investment to get it. If you're just trying out market gardening and you want to see how you like it, then maybe just get the Earthway. It's only $100. Or if you have a lower budget, just get the Earthway. When I started at this plot, I had a lower budget, so I just decided to get the Earthway. I was already comfortable with it as well. Nishan, where do you get your drip tape? I get it all from dripdepot.com. I believe I have a link down in the description. If you buy through my link, it'd really help me out. They just give me a kickback if people use my link. Or if you search any of my drip videos on how to build drip irrigation, I've got links in there to go through Drip Depot, the different parts that I use, so I make it easy for you guys to figure it out. Drip tape. I recommend buying I believe it's 15 mil is the thickest kind. My buddy Jared, who I started farming with, he's still using some of that original drip tape that we started with 8 years ago. So maybe up to 8 years if you treat it well. If you have hard water in your area, sometimes that can kind of clog the emitters though. Cool, thanks Nishan. Hope that helps. Drip Depot is an awesome company. I've been buying from them for years. And they send you Tootsie Rolls in your order, or Tootsie Pops. It's pretty fun. All right, I'm gonna go to the other side here. I forgot to pin it down with a irrigation staple. There we go. So I'm just gonna flush out the lines. Thanks CP for sharing, I really appreciate it, man. So I'm just sending the water this way, so if there is any dirt stuck in these, it'll blow it out the other side. Then I'll connect them to the other side, and then I'm guaranteed it's super clean. Yeah, pea does have nutritional content in it. There's people who, you know, there's human manure, and they save the pea and the pea and the poo, and they, you know, turn it into high quality compost. But you don't want to use that on your vegetable garden. People will inoculate biochar with their pea too. That's not something I would do if I was running a business and selling food to people, though. Maybe on my homestead I'd do something like that. So, gotta get my drip line straighter here. Now, I could water in because I use, yeah, I don't pee on your edible plants. That won't work out too well. With these 4 lines, I can run the drip, and then it will get it all wet and everything. But if I use my overhead sprinkler, it'll use less water, and I can get that top 1/4 to 1/2 inch wet, and the seeds will germinate. So let me show you that. Nishan, they're like 8-inch wide pathways. It's super tight in here. It's not ideal, but I'm in a backyard, so I have to max out all of my grow space. Just wide. Okay, so I'll show you the overhead. This is just I'm still using my cheap Amazon overhead sprinkler. The best way to start a potato farm, I don't know, potatoes, or you need a tractor for potatoes if you're gonna do that on any sort of scale. It's just really the only efficient way to do it. So I'll just let this run for like 5 minutes and really good. Oh, yeah, I've got cats coming back here all the time. Oh, there she is. Oh, that's Bandit. Yeah, I think it's a boy. His name's Bandit. He's always causing trouble. It's one of my neighbor's cats. Here, I'll go show you guys the grow bags while this is going. And then the last thing I'll show you guys today is the compost and worm tea. And we'll talk Korean natural farming. And then I gotta go because I gotta spray that tea out on my other property. I gotta spray it here. You know, the tea is kind of time sensitive. Once it's done brewing, you gotta spray it because the biology doesn't last. All right, who's ready? Best way to keep cats out, that's pretty hard to do. Luckily, those ones don't crap in my garden. So, here's all the peppers. I'm only doing bell peppers because for me, those are the most profitable types. So if you want to learn about grow bags and how to set up an irrigation system like this, I have a video on my YouTube channel all about this. So I got various herbs like cilantro in here. I got dill. I've got some tomatoes going. You know, this is kind of a big experiment for me, so I'm doing a lot of different stuff. I've got some squash back there. Once some of these greens come out, in my live stream earlier today, I just planted a bunch of peppers. Those peppers will go right here. And I want to mainly grow peppers in these bags for the rest of summer. And that's the plan for that. But everything's looking really healthy, and uh-oh. There's a caterpillar somewhere on this thing. Where are you? Don't see it. The heck is it? Aha! It fell off. There's one of them. All right, let's go check out the tea. If you want to learn how to make compost and worm tea, I've got a really in-depth video all about how to do that. I think I have 2 videos about it on my YouTube channel, I forgot. And here's what the water looks like. So it's almost wet enough. So I'll just let that go another couple minutes and then turn it off. Seed sprouted teas. No, I haven't tried that yet. I don't know, I don't have too many problems sprouting the stuff. I should try that at some point. I've just got like 50,000 other things I'm working on and trying. So here's the tea. And I've got a couple different aerators going. Yeah, I do. I've got apple, and I have a small amount. I've got grapes, blackberries, and boysenberries, and I've also got a couple apple trees, a couple citrus trees. But that's all for my landlords ultimately when I leave. So, and yep, it doesn't have any smell, which means it's aerobic. It's not having any issues. I also have a microscope, and I look at that underneath the microscope so to make sure it is safe. I'll show you guys my berries, I guess, real quick, since you're interested. So this is my wife's flower garden. Lots of marigolds and all sorts of flowers here. Sunflowers, poppies. And then this is like a green Thompson grape. You can see this is, so all these are going to turn into flowers, which get pollinated, which turn into the grapes. I have a red, there's like a red Thompson in here too. These ones right here are Concord, small Concord grapes. You can see the flower buds are starting to open. These are some boysenberries here. And I'm really proud of this over here. This is, I believe these are the blackberries. I forgot which is which, but check out how many flowers are on here. All these little green bud thingies. This is the berry before it turns color. So this is the result of monthly sprayings of Korean natural farming and compost and worm tea. And then I also soil drench this and feed it leftover compost and biochar that I use for my compost and worm teas. So nobody can tell me it doesn't work. All right, so I'm gonna show you my sprayer and how I set. Jeez Louise, this grape almost tripped me. So I'll show you guys that. And I'm gonna turn off that sprinkler because we're wet. That's exactly why I'm on Twitch. There is no other farmer or gardener that I really know of doing this. Under the microscope, Elijah, we would see different sorts of ciliates, flagellates, hopefully see some nematodes, lots of different biology that's really good for soil health. Oh, let me, so yeah guys, I'll be streaming like once a week probably, is what I'll probably do. Right now I'm doing it a lot because I'm trying to get my Twitch account going and all that, so help me share it if you guys can. Please follow me on Twitch so I can get my followers up. Here's my sprayer. I just use a simple Chapman sprayer. No, I just haven't set up my Twitch account super dialed in yet. I'm just playing around. Me and Dragstrip Farm, he helped me set up my Twitch, and we're just, we just started getting the chat to work correctly and, importing in the chat from YouTube. So we're just trying to figure it all out and get it working well. This is my Chapman sprayer, and this is a cheap one on Amazon. It's like 50 bucks, I think. It's a 5 liter, excuse me, and it's awesome. I've been using it for a couple years now, so I definitely recommend it. I've got a Amazon link to it in my worm tea video if you're interested in getting it. But I could definitely recommend this. It's held up really well. So all right, give me a minute to set this up. It's so diluted that I don't know, it's just not enough to really change the pH. The biology itself is what's going to change the pH. So spraying that biology out onto the soil and onto the plants, that's going to have a way bigger effect. You'd have to drench the soil pretty heavily if you wanted to change the pH with the liquid itself. So with these sprayers I found, you really got to make sure that they're clean so that they don't get clogged. All right, let me go grab my tea, and then I'll show you guys some Korean natural farming stuff. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna add in the water now. I'm gonna fully dilute. So this is like, it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, a little less than 1-to-1 worm tea to water. And so I'm gonna fully dilute this before I add my KNF or Korean natural farming stuff. Yeah, definitely check out Dragstrip Farm on Instagram. He's gonna be developing a really interesting strip of land, like literally a strip. I think it's like 30 feet wide by a mile long. And he's gonna be developing it with chickens, mobile chicken coops, cover crops, a lot of regenerative methods. So be sure to follow along on his journey on YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. It's all Dragstrip Farm. To me, the tea results are very noticeable when your soil isn't healthy. So at the beginning stages of setting up land or beds, things like that, I notice huge results. Once your soil's more developed, you have large amounts of organic matter in your soil, so we're talking over 5%, then in my opinion, I think it starts to become less effective because it's just so, you already got the really good microbes, you've got the really good fungi, you've got large amounts of nutrients in the soil. I think it's good for addressing health issues of plants though. Let's say your plant's a little sick or it's getting infected with bugs. It's a way you could kind of turn the tide on it. Yet, I have my own worms. I've got a video all about how to make your own special worm bins and everything. No, I'm going to be spraying this out foliarly. Okay, let me grab this is worm casting tea. So I do a 50-50 blend of the compost I make plus the worm castings that I make. Now I'm gonna add in the Korean natural farming nutrients that I make as well. So let me bring that out and I'll show you guys. So this is something I don't have any videos on yet. This is something I've been studying the last year, and it's a bit more complex than other methods, so that's why I'm kind of holding off before I really talk about it in a really highly edited video. But so Korean natural farming is a way to make your own natural nutrients. So you can make them. You can make all sorts of different mineral type stuff. You can collect indigenous microorganisms, putting out really diverse biology, which is going to help the health of your soil, help converting nutrients, keeping plants healthier. And it's a really fantastic way to do stuff. And I'll definitely be putting out info on this in the future. But you guys get a sneak peek because you're watching live with me. So this is called WCA, or water soluble calcium. And this is made from eggshells. You barbecue them, burn off the organic matter, mix it 1-to-10 with brown rice vinegar, which extracts the calcium from the eggshell. Then I'm about to dilute this 1 to 1,000, which for my, what is this? So it's a 5 gallon. For my 5 gallon, that's 1 tablespoon. And this is really good for helping with the fruiting of my plants. So the tomatoes, the peppers, all that stuff, it'll be excellent for that. This is LAB, lactobacillus. This is like really good anaerobic microbes that kill off bad guys and stuff. I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail, guys. I gotta get moving here. What time? It's 6:30. I gotta get going. This is water-soluble calcium phosphate. It's made from charred bones, extracted again with the brown rice vinegar. And if you guys want to learn about Korean natural farming, go check out Chris Trump's YouTube channel or Drake YouTube channel on there. Thanks, guys. Okay, so let me just put this in, and then we're ready. Well, I don't have a tablespoon right now, so I'm just gonna put just a little drop in here. And all these Korean natural farming inputs, you could actually drink these and it's good for human health. And yes, I have drinking them. I drink my teas frequently and I'm still alive. It's actually beneficial. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go put this stuff back. Just mixing it all up now. All right, cool, all done. So that's basically it for today. Unless you guys just want to sit there and watch me spray out the tea, because I'm going to be spraying this for the next 30-40 minutes, and then it'll be dark basically. So I'll stick around for another couple minutes. If you guys have any other questions, please check my links in the description below. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. Hit the notification bell for YouTube, so next time I go live, you'll know when it happens. Join me on Patreon if you'd like to support the channel, or if you just want to send a donation. PayPal's another great way to do that. And on Patreon, next Saturday, I'll be doing my once a month live stream with my patrons. And that's something where we just sit down, we have a conversation, I answer any questions about anything that you guys want to know. I'll give you advice on your farm, whatever you guys would want to learn about. And that's just, you know, a more intimate sit down where I'm not working or doing anything else. So check those links out, you guys. I'd really appreciate it. Check out my website, naturesalwaysright.com. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And I'll be doing a lot more into the future. Hey Adam, my farm stand is at La Mesa Farmers Market. I sell at La Mesa every Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. And you can see all the different veggies and stuff there that I grow, and my salad mix. I do microgreens, beets, radishes. I've got carrots and all this different stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed. Cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next stream. I'm gonna go spray out that tea and bring a lot of health to these plants. It's gonna be great. Cool. Thanks, everybody. See you next time. Bye.